This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Time for a sofa upgrade? Visit WashableSofas.com and discover Anabay, where designer style meets budget-friendly prices, with sofas starting at $699. Anabay brings you the ultimate in furniture innovation with a modular design that allows you to rearrange your space effortlessly. Perfect for both small and large spaces, Anabay is the only machine-washable sofa inside and out. Say goodbye to stains and messes with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics that make cleaning easy. Liquid simply slides right off. Designed for custom comfort, our high-resilience foam lets you choose between a sink-in feel or a supportive memory foam blend. Plus, our pet-friendly, stain-resistant fabrics ensure your sofa stays beautiful for years. Don't compromise quality for price. Visit WashableSofas.com to upgrade your living space today with no-risk returns and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get up to 60% off plus free shipping and free returns. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/iHeart. That's greenlight.com/iHeart.
Radio. Oh, sorry.
I need you to help out with this vibe.
Okay.
Music legend Daryl Hall is taking over the Minnesota State Fair Grandstand on August 28th.
And we can build this thing together.
Want your shot at tickets to the show plus State Fair admission?
Operator, would you help me place this call?
Check out KFAN.com. Keyword contest to see how you can win your way in today.
Doing radio newscasts is vastly more difficult than television.
Can't even imagine how you did it all those years.
It was hard.
Yeah, I bet it was.
One-man news department.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
In small towns.
One-man news department.
Yeah.
No help. None. Yeah. Zero. You back in your day, you and Ralph John Fritz and Mike Max, and then a plethora of producers behind the scene and writers. And I mean, you
got it all figured out.
That's how you guys did it. Meanwhile,
magic.
Meanwhile, I'm at the Forest Lake radio station. I'm covering, let's see, 8 or 9 city councils, a couple of county commission meetings. I got District 58B, 58A, 50 of this. And I mean, I'm just trying to all by myself. Nobody else is. It's not like,
That's
hey,
small town
need
radio.
some help. Yeah.
That's small town radio.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Here you are after all those years, still standing.
And then that major market stuff that you guys do, and you got all these people working in the office. I mean, that news department had how many people? 10, 12, 15, 20 people?
What are you talking about, the sports department?
Yes.
No, we didn't have 10, 20. You crazy.
You didn't?
We had a good-sized department at one point.
We
had a good budget. We were traveling and doing
there you
kinds
go.
of things, but yeah.
Back in the day.
Yep, back in the day. Those days are long gone in local television.
They sure are.
That's for sure.
Huh.
But it was fun.
Those were the days?
A lot of nights and weekends. That's all right.
Well, but you had your mornings then.
Well, yeah, except when I was doing morning radio for KQ and WCCO and then eventually here. Yeah, I mean, it was longer days.
Well, you were burning the candle at both ends.
I was for a while.
But you liked it. That's what you wanted to do.
Well, I mean, I did. I mean, it was at a price, but yeah. I mean, I did it for a while. They kept coming after me to do more morning radio, so.
You could have said no. You could have said no.
Well,
You could have.
I could have, but I was.
But you love the sound of your own voice.
No, it started with the KQ thing, and then that exploded, like no other radio show ever in this Twin City area.
Not even the Power Trip.
No, not even the Power Trip. When Bernard and I started, got that thing rolling in '86.
Of course, they're getting the same shares now that Bernard was.
Probably.
They are. They're right now the most powerful radio show in the country.
Amazing.
They are.
No, I'm not doubting it. I'm not doubting it for a second.
And when you listen to it, you can understand why.
And the thing is, you've never listened to it.
I'm playing golf.
I know. That's the ironic
I can't
part.
help it. If I wasn't playing golf, I don't listen to the radio when I play golf.
Have you ever heard the Power Trip morning show? Be honest.
Well, sure.
When? I mean, I don't mean like 30 seconds. I kind of have my doubts, but that's just me. I'm calling you out.
I'm pleading
the fifth because I know the answer to it.
No, it's just I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Okay. Oh, you don't? What do you do here every day I'm in here?
Am I hurting your feelings?
Not really.
I would hope not.
No.
Jousting.
I'm so far beyond that.
You've had it all.
I'm so. Oh man! So what's going on?
What you're saying is it's good to be you.
Well, I mean, it's all right.
It's good.
Well,
when we last talked, the Twins were still in the midst of making trades, and then when the dust has settled, 10 guys gone. Your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I think last Thursday we maybe just a couple of the players. I think
it was 2 or 3, maybe 4. Yeah,
had Duran been traded? I think Paddock had been traded. We know that, and a couple of them, and then all of a sudden that was just the beginning of the the onslaught. And it just kept coming in waves, and here we are now. And I can't even imagine. I was talking in Abbott's office. What the Twins returning home this weekend? I think they're home this weekend. It's a quick homestand because then they go to Yankee Stadium next week. Oh, that ought to be fun. Although the Yankees are a mess right now. I just can't. I mean, it's almost going to be Double-A baseball without the fun. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the Saints have always known what they've been, even before they became a Twins affiliate. Independent baseball. Let's have a lot of fun at the ballpark. Let's do a bunch of gimmicks. People will go. They don't care who's in the lineup. Just go out there and have a good time. And Mike Veck and company had a really successful formula for many, many years. Then all of a sudden they become the Twins' top farm system. And, a lot of the guys that go up and down are in St. Paul. And you go, hey, this is a pretty good baseball team. And now it's the same thing at Target Field without the fun, without the pig bringing baseballs to the umpire and the rest of it. I mean, they may as well have those things right now because I can't imagine anyone really spending the time.
Is the team really that much worse?
Maybe not. I don't. I mean, I think in the pitching department there, and they have some guys they've trotted out. I've watched a little bit the last couple. I have no idea who these people are. I've never even heard of them from the minor league system. Everyday lineup. Well, especially still without Buxton. I mean, he's been out with an injury, so that kind of hurts in a lot of different ways. He's having such a great season. But no, I mean, they got for the most part, they have the usual suspects. Obviously, Harrison Bader hit a 3-run homer last night for the Phillies. Big one for him. Isn't in the lineup. Correa's obviously gone, and I didn't really have a huge problem with that. I still think they could have gotten a ball player in return for him. Someone who was breathing. They could have gotten amidst the idea, because I think his best days are behind him. But I wasn't even that upset about the Correa deal, but the Griffin Jacks, Louis Varland, obviously Duran. They gave away guys that were very much in their wheelhouse financially and with years of service, and that's to me those 3 guys in particular. That's the signal that we're just waving the white flag financially, and we don't really care about what the fans think or anything. It's sort of like
have they ever?
Well,
see, I don't think they ever.
I mean, it's like I was listening to. I was driving around this morning and I heard Alan Roach. The Vox of Vox as his PA calls me. He was on with PA and he just come back and he's.
So you listen to the fan?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do?
I listen quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you asked me if I did, and I wasn't.
No,
I just kept it to myself. But you actually do listen.
I do listen. Yeah, I listen quite a bit. If I'm in my car and I'm driving.
What's your
around.
favorite show?
This one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, he was on. He does the voice work for the Colorado Rockies, and they are notorious for their ownership doesn't give a damn about the fans. I mean, they don't even try to hide it. There was a run there for a while. They had some really good baseball teams. That's in the long ago, far away time, and they still draw 30,000 a game. I think a lot of it, like Roach said, a lot of fans when they see their team coming to Colorado. Hey, let's go take a road trip. Let's go to the mountains. We'll go to a ball game. Coors Field is terrific. It's a great setting. But they're not going to reinvest in that team. Their payroll, I'm just looking right now, was below the Twins. They had $120 million payroll, at least starting the season. Not now, obviously. The Twins were at 142. But the Rockies don't even, I mean, I've heard of, there's pressure put on the ownership once in a while, but they don't move the needle. So no. I think that's what it's getting to now I've talked about, young players that I thought would be integral in the future of the Twins, like Walker Jenkins, who I think is going to be one of the best hitters in this organization's had in a long time. Young kid right now still. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the starting lineup next year. I think he's in Double-A. He's going to Double-A right now. But the pitching thing is just, Jax and Varland and Durant. That's just a complete sellout. That's a sellout. That's a middle finger to the fans. That's all of the above. When you weren't really going to, even with those guys, you're thinking to myself, God, I guess the Twins must have had a pretty good team. These teams wanted all these players. And, the Ty Francis's of the world and, guys that are journeymen. But the pitching thing is what gets me, because now they have no one really out there that we've seen that can close a game, that can be that 7th, 8th inning guy. Maybe someone develop, but it's the idea that 2 years ago they won that playoff series, and here we are 2 years later.
You were excited about the club back then.
It was tremendous.
I remember, I could see it in your eyes.
Yeah, I was zipping out of here to go to cover the playoff games, and it was about time we had real baseball returning, and now it's
Now it's over.
Reset button again and again and again.
We'll pause, return, controversial Vikings news with Rosie. Other side of the break, it's the Common Man program with Common 10 to be and Mark Rosen here on The Fan.
Let's be real. Life happens. Kids spill. Pets shed. And accidents are inevitable. Find a sofa that can keep up at washablesofas.com. Starting at just $699. Our sofas are fully machine washable inside and out, so you can say goodbye to stains and hello to worry-free living. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics, they're kid-proof, pet-friendly, and built for everyday life. Plus, changeable fabric covers let you refresh your sofa whenever you want. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa anytime to fit your space, whether it's a growing family room or a cozy apartment. Plus, they're earth-friendly and trusted by over 200,000 happy customers. It's time to upgrade to a stress-free, mess-proof sofa. Visit washablesofas.com today and save. That's washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change, and certain restrictions may apply.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
This is Jacob Goldstein from What's Your Problem? Business software is expensive, and when you buy software from lots of different companies, it's not only expensive, it gets confusing, slow to use, hard to integrate. Odoo solves that, because all Odoo software is connected on a single affordable platform. Save money without missing out on the features you need. Odoo has no hidden costs and no limit on features or data. Odoo has over 60 apps available for any needs your business might have, all at no additional charge. Everything from websites to sales to inventory to accounting, all linked and talking to each other. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from The Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Text message came into the Brad, Sean, Brian, KFAN text line. It says, Common thinks because he's been calling out the poll ads for years, the fans shouldn't get to be outraged for these BS moves. Two things can be true at the same time. We're happy for you blowing your own horn, but now's the time for total abandonment. Where were you all these years when I was on my 100,000 watt soapbox telling you that the poll ads were not operating the team in good faith? Now, finally, now he says it's okay to be outraged. What I'm saying is, I just rolled my eyes, shrugged my shoulders, and shook my head. It was business as usual. Did they take it to another degree? Yeah. But does that shock anybody that the poll ads decided to trade players and not spend any money and not field a competitive team? Where have you been this past 25, 30 years, for crying out loud?
Well, they had, as we know, they had a number of divisional winners that under the poll ad control. I mean, I'm not saying their salaries matched, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Yankees, etc. But, the names that were instrumental in winning division after division after division. But inevitably, they'd run into the Yankees more than any other team, and it would be over in a hurry. They were able to compete at a certain level and with some really good players, certainly a lot better players than they have in their roster even before the trades were made. When you look at, that era with Koski and Guzman and Minkiewicz and Torrey Hunter and AJ Brzezinski, your buddy, that's where those were damn good baseball players. They weren't, as we know, because Torrey left and pretty much everybody else left, but there's a shelf life they had, and they were a damn good team. I mean, arguably one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the American League for a series of years, right? Do you agree with that?
Yep.
Talent-wise, I think they were, they had Johan Santana. They had some damn good talent on this team. But like I said, inevitably they'd run into the Yankees and it would be a quick out. Once in a while, they won a series against the Oakland A's, which was featured in Moneyball, but then they lost. After winning that series, you'd think they would have,
Well, I think the problem
is
the problem I had with that though is I think everybody knew going into those series they were going to have trouble, and they knew going into the season that they didn't have enough to compete with the Yankees, and so they would just sit on their hands and I think they were happy winning a division and then just go, well, we'll just see what happens.
Well, I think that was, I don't know how to. I think it was a combination of both. I think they felt like they were capable of competing at the highest level, and they didn't, they didn't perform at the best, against the Yankees. Certainly, time and time again when you face the likes of Jeter and Posada and Mariano Rivera coming out of the bullpen and the rest of the gang, they certainly weren't able to compete at that level. Although they would hope to do so. But then the key thing, even with those teams, was, well, we're going to build on this, looking at the nucleus we have, and certainly, as I said, a lot more talent than they had on this baseball team. Or are we going to just let Torrey Hunter walk? Are we going to let we're going to let AJ Brzezinski walk? We're going to let Johan Santana leave for the Mets? Yes, and yes. That's what they did. Instead of capitalizing on the talent they had, they developed that talent. Torrey Hunter was a Minnesota Twin through and through, and we saw him struggle and get through that, and kind of be the heir apparent to Kirby and all the things that they did, and he was as popular as any player around after post Kirby on this Twins team. And then, they knew they weren't going to be able to keep him.
Here's what I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Here's what I'll tell you. I think if you think what the Twins did last week on trade deadline day was egregious, I even think worse was letting Sonny Gray walk.
No, I don't. Well,
that was worse.
Well,
because that team was coming off the playoff appearance, and they decide Sonny Gray wasn't he third in Cy Young voting, and we decided we didn't want him because he cost too much money. That's the poll ads in a nutshell. They did. Now, Sonny Gray may have. I don't even know. He may have had. I don't know what his year was in 2024. I don't think it was as good as what he had in 2023. But you don't know that going in, and so what you do is, if he had a Cy Young type season and you want to come back and build on that, you bring him back. You give him the 3-year deal of $20 million or $25 million a year. That's what you do if you want to play big league baseball. You
send a signal to the fans, and that's what they needed to do after that postseason. But was locking that agent in a room and saying, what's it going to take? Let's get it done. We don't want him going anywhere. Now, I don't know if Sonny Gray insisted on leaving because he wanted to leave the Twin City area. If it was a family thing, I doubt it. But I don't know 100%. But that's the difference between what they've done and.
Remember what Pablo said? He said Sonny Gray. He loved having him on the team. He was kind of the leader of that pitching staff.
Well, yeah, and there's been a lot of cases like that. But now, I mean, you look at this whole thing. How do you sell this team in the future? What are you selling? What are you selling if you're in a ticket office, if you're marketing, whatever you might be, and without even knowing who the owners are going to be.
Regarding the Jacks thing, Seth in Brooklyn Park writes, and I didn't hear it, so I don't know what he says. To be fair to the Twins, Jacks demanded a trade. Gleeman confirmed it on Barrero yesterday.
But when did he demand that trade?
I don't know.
What I'm saying is,
I think he demanded it after they were selling off.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it was like 2 months ago or a month and a half ago. I think Griffin Jacks did apparently and demand a trade. And at that point, I don't blame him.
But it doesn't sound like you were saying that you and everybody saying, well, you don't understand why they traded Jacks and Duran, but if the guy's demanding a trade and doesn't want to be here, what?
Well, it got to the point.
They could have said, "Sorry, we're not going to trade you," but then you got disgruntled.
The Athletic reported that Jacks requested a trade once he saw the extent of the sell-off in Minnesota.
So he wanted to be. So they weren't. What I'm trying to say is, it wasn't like they. It doesn't sound like they were going to part with Jacks. That when he saw the sell-off, he decided he wanted to be traded.
Really surprising thing was that. In retrospect, that Buxton didn't waive his no trade because apparently there were at least a half a dozen teams, buzzing the Twins phone lines. I'm going. I'll take Byron Buxton in center field for my team. Can you waive your no trade clause?
Well, certainly, even if it's just a rental. I mean, because the way he's playing right, I don't think you can depend on him to play that way next year. He's never done it for more than a year in a row. But if you're a team out there contending for a championship and you think we could use a leadoff hitter, a guy that plays exceptional center field and can hit with power and average, I'm sure there were a lot of teams that were inquiring about that.
This isn't to suggest that some of the players the Twins acquired aren't going to be major league caliber baseball players. I mean, what happens when you have a trade like this is, 99% of them we've never heard of, because unless they're, you don't follow AA baseball like you do in some other sports and other leagues. So that's not to suggest that all these guys are going to be abysmal. But when you trade some of the trades they made, you just kind of shake your head. But it's still going to take time. And again, you go back 2 years ago when they had Sonny Gray on this team, and they had the nucleus. And Royce Lewis looks like he's finally coming out of his slumber, and he can stay healthy. Yeah, they got some decent pieces on the team, and if maybe some of these young guys come around, but it's if.
I don't think we're rebuilding. I think we're reloading. Yeah. I like what this team has done right now.
Well, I mean, they have a lot of company with the Kansas City Royals, and
Well, this one says all those division championships for the Twins were smoke and mirrors. The rest of the division was AA level, and they played them 19 times.
Yeah,
each.
they did.
Anytime they played a real team, it was over. Another one says it helps that the Central was awful for the past 25 years, even though, ironically, almost every other team in the division has won a World Series in that time. And
they had some. Remember Ozzie Guillen and his White Sox teams. They ended up winning a World Series. So it wasn't all awful. I mean, the White Sox and the Twins had some hellacious battles and really good rivalry, and I think people remember that with Gardy and Ozzie Guillen and what did he call us? The
Piranhas.
Piranhas. Yeah, I mean that was fun. Ozzie was a character, and it was a good rivalry, and much the way that the Twins and the Oakland A's used to have a rivalry in the American League West back in the day. when they had those great, when the Oakland A's had a lot of really terrific teams and the Twins went toe to toe with them. But all that was gone. And I think that's, for the most part, the Twins didn't have a whole lot of competition during those winning championship
There'll
years.
be a whole lot of competition in the NFC North this year. Let's talk some Vikings football on the other side of the break with the legendary Mark Rosen here on The Fan.
Life's messy. We're talking spills, stains, pets, and kids. But with Anabe, you never have to stress about messes again. At WashableSofas.com, discover Anabe sofas, the only fully machine-washable sofas inside and out, starting at just $699. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics. That means fewer stains and more peace of mind. Designed for real life, our sofas feature changeable fabric covers, allowing you to refresh your style anytime. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa effortlessly. Perfect for cozy apartments or spacious homes. Plus, they're earth-friendly and built to last. That's why over 200,000 happy customers have made the switch. Upgrade your space today. Visit WashableSofas.com now and bring home a sofa made for life. That's WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change, and certain restrictions may apply.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
This is Jacob Goldstein from What's Your Problem? Business software is expensive, and when you buy software from lots of different companies, it's not only expensive, it gets confusing, slow to use, hard to integrate. Odoo solves that because all Odoo software is connected on a single affordable platform. Save money without missing out on the features you need. Odoo has no hidden costs and no limit on features or data. Odoo has over 60 apps available for any needs your business might have, all at no additional charge. Everything from websites to sales to inventory to accounting, all linked and talking to each other. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
And
Couple 13:14 pastime common. He's 10B. Mark Rosen is here. Quickly, just a couple of text messages. One, Dean from Hermantown says, Common Gray told the Twins he would not sign, capitalized with the Twins. He did not like Rocco and how he handled pitchers.
Sonny Gray. I do remember hearing that.
No, that's not the way it went. Here's how it went. Here's what I'm reading. Okay. After the 2023 season, Sonny Gray expressed a desire to test the free agency market, but did not rule out returning to the Minnesota Twins. He publicly stated that money wasn't the sole factor in his decision, but rather that he wanted to feel valued appropriately, very Kirk Cousins-like. The Twins informed Gray that they lacked the financial resources to offer him a competitive contract. In August 2024, Gray reflected on the situation, saying they were very transparent from the get-go, saying, listen, we do not have the resources to give you a contract as much as you would like to. So it wasn't Sonny Gray unhappy with how Baldelli handled him or this and that thing. He wanted to test free agency, and that's probably a move by his agent to say, let's say we want to go test free agency. Well, how much money? Because maybe we can get more. Right. And then the poll that said, well, we don't got the money, so go ahead, test free agency. That's how it went.
And that's on repeat right now. That's exactly the way it is.
And then there's this one that says, You put the Twins of the last 25 years in the NL West, AL East, and we don't sniff 500. Common is right and has been right all this time on the Twins. This fan base is too homer to understand. Common, keep up the good work. How did that one come up? All
yeah,
of a sudden?
shocking.
That's the one I read.
Yeah. All the emails
Well,
you get.
I could read this one. Rosen breathes a sigh of relief as Common elects not to hold his feet to the fire
About
over his
what?
kid-gloving love affair with the Twins management for the past 25-plus years.
That's BS.
Well, you loved the club. You were one of the directors for a long time.
I brought up, just because I bring up the fact that, there are certain instances when I just mentioned the last 25 years where this team had some really good baseball teams. And and were among, the top echelon. Certainly in the American League they were. But there was always one obstacle, the New York Yankees. And very few teams could compete with them at that level. But, for pretty much anyone else, and you look at the divisions and, the Tampas, the Torontos. I mean, Milwaukee right now, this is an outlier. And I'm going to say it's an outlier. Milwaukee has the best record in baseball, and they have one of the lowest payrolls in baseball.
23rd.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But can they maintain that? Can they close?
They know how to evaluate talent.
Well, the Twins have had plenty of good draft picks.
We've been told they were.
Well, yeah, I'm saying it much more so than, like, again, getting back to the Rockies. But it remains to be seen. Milwaukee's, nice little club. Cubs are faltering right now. Cardinals aren't what they used to be. But push comes to shove in October. I don't think Milwaukee will be able to. I like
this Milwaukee.
Well, I don't think they'll be able to compete against the Dodgers or the Phillies. Those are the high price.
Bet.
What do you want to bet? $12 you owe me?
$12.
On what?
Brewers get to the League Championship Series. They are in the National League now, right?
Well,
they'll get to the NLCS. You said as soon as
if they play the Dodgers or the Phils, no, I'll take that bet. I don't think they'll beat either one of those teams. Sure, I'll take that.
The bet is
National Championship
I say
Series.
they'll be. I'm not saying they're going to win it.
I know.
Be in it.
All right.
You win?
Well, that means they have to win a series against a pretty good team before that.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
Here we go.
We'll have a lot of football bets before that, too.
Vikings versus the Houston Texans on Saturday at 3 o'clock.
Right.
And Kevin O'Connell says J.J. McCarthy will play in that football game. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, he should. I mean, I think it's, I think O'Connell's laid it out pretty well that J.J. will play. I'm anxious to see, obviously, Justin Jefferson's not playing, Hawkinson's not playing, Darisaw probably not playing. How many of the other frontline offensive linemen will be playing? Because, the biggest fear, and we've had this discussion months ago, saying, well, put JJ out there, but you want to make sure he's not playing with a bunch of guys that aren't going to be making the football team. Especially the Texans, I assume, will be playing a lot of their first team defensive players in the first half. So you want to know who's surrounding JJ McCarthy out there. But it makes sense to have him play that first game, whether it's the first quarter and a half, whatever, how many reps he gets. And then you fast forward to the following week when they will be scrimmaging the Patriots twice at TCO, which will be more like game-like situations. And then he doesn't play in that game, and he won't in the second game. And, of course, none of those guys will play at Tennessee on the 22nd of August. That's when, Brett Rippon or what's our guy from Minnesota? Brosmer will be starting. So, that's the third game that no team really cares about. There might be a guy that, some guys fighting for special teams or whatever it might be. But so, yeah, there's a lot of judgments that are going to be made, immediately and trying not to get too wrapped up in it because I've repeated myself to the point where I don't want to hear it anymore about no one remembers these games. But at the same time, because of all the eyeballs on J.J. McCarthy, I think people want to just see that he can, call the right play, make the right call, run when he has to. You want to hold your breath every time he goes back to pass and the pocket's collapsing or something. But
he's really been struggling in practice.
I don't know about
that offense has just been brutal.
Well, yeah, I think they don't have Jefferson out there, they don't have Hawkinson out there, they don't have Darisaw out there. You're talking about actually scrimmaging against right now. It's and I'm not saying he's not struggling. I think every optic about J.J. McCarthy is going based on the history of the National Football League, and even in recent years with rookie first-year quarterbacks, they're not, for the most part, coming out of the gate, throwing 4 touchdown passes and no interceptions. I mean, look at last year. I mean, Jaden Daniels was the exception. I mean, Bo Nix started out awful, and then he got really good at the end of the year. I think that's the thing. You have to remind yourself. He's 22 years old. He's going to take his bumps and bruises. He doesn't have to be Dan Marino-like. He has to be, when they open up against the Bears, good enough to not make mistakes, especially in your own zone. Throwing the ball away when you have to, and rely on a defense that's supposed to be, as good as.
Well, what if we get down by 2 touchdowns? He's going to be able. He's going to have to do more than that.
Well, of course he is.
He's going to
get down by 2 touchdowns.
He's going to start spinning it.
Well, and he'll have to. Yeah, I don't see that happening, but anything happens. It can happen in an NFL game. But it's not just about game one. It's about getting better and getting better and getting better. And it's ultimately J.J. McCarthy will be evaluated further down the road. He's going to have some tough games, but I think he's also going to have some terrific games. So I'm not going to put a lot of stock just in one preseason game that we'll be forgetting about when past the State Fair when they're getting ready to open up against the Bears. No one's going to be saying, "Hey, remember that game against the Texans back on August 9th?" No. What happened? Well, he was 8 for 15 or whatever he was, and kind of pedestrian numbers. Everyone was going, I don't know. Well, nobody cares anymore.
Ten and B, Rosen and I have a baseball bet now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd said, cute little Brewers club, but just wait till, they have to face the Dodgers.
Right, or the Phils. Yeah. If they end up winning the division.
So, Brewers and Dodgers have played 6 times this year. July 7th, Brewers 9, Dodgers 1.
I'm aware of that.
July 8th, Brewers 3,
Are you?
Dodgers
1.
Yeah,
I was. Yeah.
July 9th, Brewers 3, Dodgers 2. That's a 3-game sweep. The next series, July 18th, Brewers 2, Dodgers nothing. July 19th, Brewers 8, Dodgers 7. And July 20th, Brewers 6, Dodgers 5. I think right. The Brewers are 6-0 against the Dodgers. I'll let you out of the bet right now. We'll just be even. So we'll just waive off that $12 because it's a $12 bet. That's what we go. We'll just call it even.
I'll
let you out of it right now.
As the Lions know, there's a big difference between the regular season and the postseason.
There is?
Yeah. Ask the Lions who blew their opportunity to get to the big game the last 2 years. Because what happens? The moment's too big for them.
So is that what happened to the Vikings in 2017?
Yeah.
The moment was too big for them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
And how about when they lost to Washington in the NFC Championship game and lost to Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game?
Philadelphia was a better team. They're playing on the road.
They lost to Atlanta. And they lost to Atlanta in the NFC Championship game. And they lost.
Well, we know what happened in that game.
Well,
in the New Orleans game, they got cheated out of. Of course, they turned the ball over 4 or 5 times as well. I'm just saying that you're right. The Brewers have dominated the Dodgers, but it's not the postseason. It's a regular season. And it's a whole different October. You know what? You can't script October.
So now the Brewers and the Phillies have played one series.
Okay.
Back in May. Brewers 6, Phillies 2. May 31st, Brewers 17, Phillies 7.
Wow.
In June 1st, Brewers 5, Phillies 2.
How are they doing it with such a low payroll?
Because they know how to evaluate. They don't just say.
Not every year they don't.
They don't just say. They just don't go to their, who owns the Phillies? Let's say it's, I
don't know.
Let's say the guy's name is Poston. They don't go to they go to the Poston pocket protectors and they say, we've drafted a lot of really great players. We think they're going to be really good. And then they just write that. We're a deep and talented team. Yeah. So that's what and the Brewers are a deep and talented team. They know how to develop talent. They're 9-0 against the teams you say.
When was the last time they were in the World Series? Well, that's a legitimate question. I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but that doesn't matter. That has no bearing on this season.
Well, it has bearing on what happens in the postseason.
Because this team is different than any other. This isn't the same. This isn't Harvey's Wallbangers. This is this year's team.
I wish them well. I really do. I hope you win your bet because I like. I've always been a Brewer fan because of Paul Molitor.
Now, here's you're getting ripped again. Rosen said the Twins have a lot of great draft picks. Common brilliantly replied, well, people have told us they did. So true and timely because 30 minutes ago, Rosie said he thinks Walter Jenkins is going to be one of the best hitters in team history. He's never seen Walker Jenkins play.
No, I
he's
haven't.
Still spreading the narrative like a great pull-out pocket protector does?
Well, I'm based on Major League Baseball's analysis of Walker Jenkins, not mine. I have not seen him. I've seen highlights of him, but he was thought to be the best pure hitter in the draft that year. And hopefully the Twins won't screw it up. That's not my analysis. Go back and look at how Walker Jenkins was ranked in that draft as a pure hitter. And he's been dealing with some injuries. Now he's healthy again. That's all. I mean, I think, yeah, he's got the potential to be that guy, but we've seen that before. I don't know.
How much do you think JJ will play this? Will it be a series?
I think a little more than that. I think if they're going to put again, I'm interested in hearing what KOC has to say. I don't know if he's addressed it or addressed it yesterday. I didn't hear it. Who he's being surrounded by? That's a big thing because I would assume that Houston's going to come out with their number one defense. That's a pretty good football team, and they got guys been around the block.
Are any of these teams playing any? Or do you think Houston really play their first team? Do any of these teams play their starters?
Yeah,
I thought they all played backups.
No. I mean, there's a smattering of starters that'll play.
Okay.
But I think for the quarterback, I don't know if C.J. Stroud is starting. I assume he is, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything from what the Texans are up to.
I thought I guess I haven't been paying as close attention to NFL preseason football as I once did because I thought. None of the starting quarterback would see the field.
Yeah, it depends on the team, but most of them don't. But, I mean, again, obviously, McCarthy's situation is a little different.
Do they need to play Pat Mahomes or Josh Allen?
No.
I don't think so.
No, I doubt they'll play. No, but I think
I understand why McCarthy would because he's never played in a real game before. He's played one preseason, so get him a little live action before he faces the Bears.
But I don't know. It might be 2 series, that might be it. And then, I honestly wouldn't play him more than that. I don't know what you have to gain by that.
Right.
Because of the scrimmaging against the Patriots the following week. And then he won't play in either one of the last 2 games. So then he's got, 2 weeks to get ready for the Bears. They're already working on the Bears game. They don't game plan for this game on Saturday.
Think.
They don't spend any time really looking at.
They all keep it vanilla because they don't want to tip their hand on anything new.
Well, when Stroud came in here as a rookie and Brian Flores' defense demolished him that day, I don't think he's ever he didn't recover that day from it. That was a beatdown.
Yeah.
So they're not planning they're not going to do Dan Campbell's fourth down, scheming on fourth down offensively against the Texans on Saturday. And again, it's why most people by the second half are going, boy, I got some lawn work to do. I think I'll go do that.
This text message says, who JJ's being surrounded by? The opposing team's defensive line. That's who.
Yeah, well, I hope not. That's why you can't expose him to, not that he's going to be, throwing the ball 60 yards downfield every day. They're not going to do that. He's going to run a lot of check downs and short passes and just kind of rhythm passes to kind of just get himself into a game day situation.
How concerned are you that Fee's out with a sprained ankle? Looks like maybe a couple of weeks even.
Yeah, well, it would look pretty bad. I mean, if it's only 2 weeks, that's good news. But they have such a comfortable lead, I think, and they're doing well. I mean, it's not about, God forbid, they lose to the New York Liberty when they play them next. Doesn't matter. I mean, you need to get her healthy for the postseason, and if it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it is, get her back. It sounds like they made a pretty nice trade, and they're a well-rounded team. It's good to see that. It's not the only time they played with. She's missed a game or two with. I think she had some back problems before, so they're not going to collapse the tent and move on. But they just got to get her healthy. That was a beatdown they had the other night, too. They won by, 50-some points?
Sheesh. The WNBA is it looks like they're following in the footsteps of the NBA. If it's not going well, just mail it in.
How can done.
That's 50-point loss. Come on.
That's not trying.
What do you think of this Minnesota Golden Gopher football team?
Well, it's a little early for me to. I mean, usually around when we're at the state fair, that's when kind of things get wound up a little bit, but. I don't know. I mean, they're as always, they're picked to finish 8th or 9th or something. And of course,
we're being doubted.
Yeah. PJ's been moving the needle a little bit here and there, but until I think Drake Lindsey's right the quarterback, and he's apparently got he can sling it. And I think that's kind of a learning from Max Brosmer from last year. And as Taylor's back in the backfield, they got some new wide receivers. They got some transfer kids that came in that are good reputations from other schools. Lanill, moving in here from Nill. I always look at the Gophers as saying, talking about pass rushing. For me, it was decades where the Gophers just never really had a legitimate pass rush. That's changed some, and obviously they got a multi-talented kid in Coy Parrish who's going to be on everyone's All-American list, and he looks like he's going to go offense, a little bit offense, and of course his defense as well. He might be, the best all-around player they've had in a long, long time, and that kid is special. So he's worth the price of admission, as they say.
Is he a Heisman candidate?
I don't think so, but I mean that remains to be seen. I doubt it. I doubt if any player.
Where's he
going to
play on offense? Wide out, scat back,
wide out.
Yeah.
I don't know how much
he might even play a little quarterback on the Wildcat.
Yeah, there you go. He'd definitely be an exciting kid to watch. But they got to, they need to beat the teams that, again, we go through this every single year. And now I don't think they play Indiana this year, but they have to get in that same conversation that the Hoosiers were in like a year ago. That's the key thing for PJ's team. Indiana came out of nowhere, not a football school, and man, they were awfully good last year until they weren't.
Did they pad that? Was it the Emperor has no clothes?
They beat some good teams. They got smacked in the Big Ten championship game. Ohio State beat them by like 40. I don't know. I think if I recall, again, that's a whole different level. But yeah, I think he's generating more enthusiasm for this team and getting, obviously the in-state kids that they missed out on before, for the most part. So. But we got plenty of time to talk about that. And when we get to the State Fair, we will.
I think the first drive will dictate how much JJ plays. If he orchestrates a 7-play tutty drive, they'll put him on ice. A turnover or 3 and out, probably make KOC give him another drive or two.
He's probably got a pitch count that he's on. I think they'd like.
But like he says, if he does the 3 and out or turns it over, he's not going to say, "Well, that's enough for you." No. But if he drives the team down, I think he's spot on. If he drives I don't think it's a pitch count. I think it's if he drives the team down the field and they score and he looks good, put him on ice. As Pete Burcich would say. If he throws an interception or they go 3 and out, let's give it another try. That's probably how they will approach it, I would think, because obviously, let's face it, the end result, who wins or loses, isn't going to make.
It's a second half type of thing too, where they're not. I've always said I think they should have running time after in the fourth quarter of preseason games, but coaches want to be able to strategize as if it's a regular season game.
The radio box for Houston was on the PA on the Paul Allen Project this morning. He said not many stars were playing.
Oh, is that right?
No Stroud.
Oh, okay.
No Nico Collins. No Daniil Hunter, etc.
Yeah.
Etc.
All right. Yeah, that's usually standard fare, and that's why McCarthy's only going to play in this game, and that's it.
And we'll see how it goes. What if he's brilliant?
Everyone will be taking their Super Bowl parades then. This defense is lights out.
What? Oh, they are. They.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do they get a load of that Lions Club with it? Now with
Lions Club.
Oh, you just wait. Now we got Gibbs spread out. He's going to play in the slot a lot. They're going to have B-Flow's defense. Their heads
Campbell's going to go in panic mode, looking around for Ben Johnson in the second quarter.
We'll see you tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Yes, sir.
Sandy, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We're back tomorrow at 12 noon. Big Ticket JG. They're next. We're right here on the Fan.
And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Let's be real. Life happens. Kids spill. Pets shed. And accidents are inevitable. Find a sofa that can keep up at WashableSofas.com. Starting at just $699, our sofas are fully machine washable inside and out. So you can say goodbye to stains and hello to worry-free living. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics. They're kid-proof, pet-friendly, and built for everyday life. Plus, changeable fabric covers let you refresh your sofa whenever you want. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa anytime to fit your space, whether it's a growing family room or a cozy apartment. Plus, they're earth-friendly and trusted by over 200,000 happy customers. It's time to upgrade to a stress-free, mess-proof sofa. Visit WashableSofas.com today and save. That's WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
In the heat of battle, your squad relies on you. Don't let them down. Unlock elite gaming tech at Lenovo.com. Dominate every match with next-level speed, seamless streaming, and performance that won't quit. And push your gameplay beyond limits with Intel Core Ultra processors. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel Inside. Maximize your edge by shopping at Lenovo.com during their back-to-school sale. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. This is Jacob Goldstein from What's Your Problem? Business software is expensive, and when you buy software from lots of different companies, it's not only expensive, it gets confusing, slow to use, hard to integrate. Odoo solves that because all Odoo software is connected on a single affordable platform. Save money without missing out on the features you need. Odoo has no hidden costs and no limit on features or data. Odoo has over 60 apps available for any needs your business might have, all at no additional charge. Everything from websites to sales to inventory to accounting, all linked and talking to each other. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from The Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.